Hello, welcome on House News. The House actively promotes the harmonization of national regulations to support Indonesia's accession to the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. Lawmakers condemned the death of 3 Indonesian troops serving a UN mission in southern Lebanon as a serious violation of international humanitarian law. During a hearing meeting, Commission seeks Aspelindo to maximize its potential as major contributor in maritime-based national economic growth. During a working meeting with the Financial Services Authority, Commission 11 pushed to strengthen global trust in Indonesia's capital markets. 6 Indonesian cities named among the 100 best food cities in the world by Taste Atlas Awards 2024 to 2025. The House supports Indonesia's accession to the OECD through the efforts of BALEK and BKSAP in promoting the harmonization of national regulations. Indonesia continues its accession process by aligning its regulatory framework with the organization's international standards.
The Indonesian House will focus on regulatory adjustments, legal harmonization in line with global standards, and strengthening coordination between the government and parliament to accelerate economic transformation and investment. During a meeting with OECD representatives, Vice Chairperson of Legislation Committee, Martin Manurung explained revisions to the statistic law strengthen the independence of statistical institutions. This law supports the credibility of national data produced by the Statistik Indonesia or BPS, which is responsible in collecting and presenting official statistics.
Kita menyadari bahwa kita sering kesulitan untuk mendapatkan satu data yang solid, yang sudah integratif. Nah, sehingga kita memerlukan ada satu otoritas data yang bisa mengkoordinasikan, mengintegrasikan data lintas kementerian. Ini berbeda dengan otoritas statistik. Jadi kalau statistik itu kan mengkolek di bawah.
In addition, Vice Chairperson of BKSAP of the House, Ravindra Erlangga, proposed to form a special task force that will focus on handling the OECD accession process. This team is expected to coordinate various legislative measures and executive-level policies to ensure they are more directed and integrated.
Hari ini adalah rapat lanjutan dan kita akan bahas lebih lanjut demi mencapai target aksesi sesuai waktu.
Akan bentuk tim kerja juga.
Dan kita juga membuka opsi untuk membuka tim kerja khusus untuk aksesi.
Fajar Ilhami and Yoga, TVR Parliament report.
Member of Commission 1 condemned the attack killing 3 Indonesian peacekeepers in Lebanon and described it as a serious violation of international humanitarian law and the UN Charter. Thus, he urged transparent investigation into the incident.
Member of Commission 1 of the House, Rizky Aulia, stated the killing of 3 Indonesian peacekeepers in Lebanon has deeply affected the public as Indonesia is very active in maintaining world peace. Indonesian peacekeeping forces in Lebanon are deployed not to engage in combat or target any site, but to protect civilians amid ongoing armed conflict.
Serangan terhadap pasukan perdamaian itu sama sekali tidak bisa dibenarkan. Ini merupakan pelanggaran berat atas hukum humaniter internasional dan juga pelanggaran berat atas charter PBB. Jauh dari tanah airnya, bukan untuk berperang, bukan untuk menyerang siapapun. Pasukan perdamaian Indonesia di Lebanon di sana justru hadir untuk memastikan tidak ada lagi korban sipil yang menjadi korban dari konflik senjata. Jadi kami terpukul, kami berbelasungkawa, dan sekarang saatnya Dewan Keamanan PBB untuk menunjukkan adanya ketegasan. Ini menurut saya kepentingan dari segala pihak dan mudah-mudahan bisa terjadi investigasi secara menyeluruh dan transparan, dan sekali lagi kita berbelasungkawa dan mendoakan agar keluarga yang ditinggalkan diberikan ketabahan.
Furthermore, Rizky Aulia urged the United Nations Security Council to take firm action. He urged comprehensive investigation into the attack and hoped it would be carried out transparently. Muhammad Esa, TVR Parliament, reports.
Commission 6 demands PT Pelabuhan Indonesia or Pelindo optimize its potential to support maritime economic growth. As an archipelagic country, Indonesia depends on strong sea transport and connectivity for movement of people and goods.
Member of Commission 6 of the House Ahmad requested PT Pelindo to prepare a clear performance roadmap, emphasizing the need to accelerate the transformation and development of strategic ports to boost national competitiveness. At the same time, these efforts should support Indonesia's goal of becoming a global distribution hub. Furthermore, Ahmad emphasized Pelindo's role is not just a commercial operator, but also a public service provider. Its responsibilities include maintaining affordable logistic costs and delivering high-quality services directly benefit the community.
Kita harapkan mereka punya roadmap 5 tahun ke depan seperti apa perkembangannya. Karena kita tahu bahwa pelabuhan kita sekarang Indonesia ini baru pelabuhan tujuan akhir, bukan transit seperti Singapura. Nah, kalau Singapura malahan penyelamatan kapal, kan, penyelamatan terhadap tanker itu sangat besar sekali. Nah, sementara kita ini baru sebatas akhir gitu. Nah, kita harapkan ke depan juga seperti pelabuhan kita yang strategis seperti Batam misalnya, Dumai ya, itu melalui selat yang cukup ramai, Selat Melaka. Nah, ini harus dibangun ini pelabuhan seperti ini sehingga menjadi world class, kelas dunia. Nah, sehingga kita harapkan yang kelas dunia itu akan mendatangkan pendapatan penerimaan yang akan besar yang berdampak kepada penerimaan negara begitu. Nah, itu harapan kita sehingga PT Pelindo itu betul-betul salah satu pilar utama di dalam penerimaan negara kita.
On the other hand, Ahmad highlighted the importance of collaboration between Pelindo subsidiaries and MSMEs. Such partnerships can stimulate local economic growth and widen the positive effects of the logistics sector on the surrounding community. Bella and Fuad, TVR Parliament report.
When we return, we'll have more interesting information on the economic sector, so stay tuned on House News. The rising tensions in the Middle East threaten to disrupt global financial markets. Therefore, Commission 11 urges Financial Services Authority to immediately implement measures to protect the national economic stability.
Commission 11 has urged the Financial Services Authority or OJK to stay alert to the effect of global market volatility on Indonesia's domestic financial system. Member of Commission 11 of the House, Haris Turino, highlighted OJK is currently facing significant challenges, emphasizing that strong leadership and clear policy communication are essential to sustaining investor confidence and market stability. Haris Turino warned errors in policy decisions could have lasting effects on Indonesia's capital market. As a result, it is important to identify and monitor the sectors most vulnerable to global disruptions, especially if the conflict continues and oil price rise sharply.
Apabila harga minyak kemudian naik di atas $120 per barel, yang akan diikuti oleh banyak hal yang lain, seperti kenaikan komoditas-komoditas turunannya. Rasanya ini PR yang besar sekali, Pak Hasan Fauzi. Ini kursi Bapak juga kursi yang sangat panas, Pak. Harus benar-benar komunikasinya pas, karena sekali ini gagal akan butuh waktu bertahun-tahun untuk bisa mengembalikan status pasar dari frontier menjadi pasar emerging. Dan biaya ekonomi yang harus ditanggung Indonesia, kalau ini terjadi akan sangat besar. Maka dari itu sekali lagi harapan besar kami taruhkan kepada OJK untuk mampu mengatasi hal ini.
Additionally, Commission 11 pointed out OJK must prioritize anticipating the impact of the conflict and restoring market trust. These actions will maintain national economic stability and keep Indonesia's financial system resilient amid ongoing global pressures. Fajar Ilhami and Teguh, TVR Parliament report.
Commission 12 asked the government to take multi-layered measures in domestic and international levels in response to the escalating conflict in the Middle East, which have the potential to disrupt global energy supplies.
Vice Chairperson of Commission 12 of the House, Doni Mariadi Ukon, mentioned the importance of strengthening storage infrastructure and diversifying supply sources. He also highlighted the need to prepare risk mitigation measures amid the closure of the Strait of Hormuz, which is affecting global energy supply.
Pemerintah, yaitu DPR dan pemerintah, eksekutif dan legislatif berusaha untuk menghadapi ini bersama-sama, melihat kemungkinan-kemungkinan yang ada. Hari ini kita tidak bisa bendung, geopolitik ini terus berkembang. Perang berkembang. Pasti, bukan tidak mungkin itu ada dampak dari energi. Jelas terlihat dengan Selat Hormuz yang ditutup, ini juga menjadi dampak ya untuk energi ini.
Meanwhile, member of Commission 12, Rohmat Ardian, encouraged the public to adopt responsible energy consumption habits, including LPG and vehicle fuels, such as diesel and pertalite. Conserving energy is not an individual responsibility, but a collective effort to effectively face and overcome the current energy challenges.
Saya mengajak kepada seluruh masyarakat tenang, ya. Pemerintah, Pertamina bekerja keras, DPR RI bekerja keras supaya mengamankan stok nasional. Mari kita berhemat, ya, menggunakan LPG dengan cara yang bijaksana. Kita berhemat menggunakan mobil pakai solar atau petrolite dengan cara yang bijaksana.
From Cilegon, Banten, Syamsul Fajri, TVR Parlemen, report.
Ahead of the 2026 Economic Census, Commission 10 provided feedback during a working visit to Southeast Sulawesi, reminding the Statistic Indonesia to ensure data accurately reflecting the mining sector's potential and its role in supporting local communities' welfare.
Member of Commission 10 of the House, Abdul Fikri Fakih, mentioned local government often evaluate regional potential mainly through regulatory frameworks such as the Job Creation Law instead of adopting a comprehensive approach that considers economic development and community welfare. He expressed concern over a potential gap between the large-scale mining operations and the economic conditions actually experienced by local governments and communities living near the mining areas.
Kendari atau Sulawesi Tenggara itu punya banyak potensi, dan potensi yang sekarang ini banyak diributkan atau mungkin banyak viral di nasional bahkan internasional adalah tambang. Dan tambang ini banyak mungkin pemerintah pusat hanya menilai dari sisi pemanfaatan memakai Undang-Undang Cipta Kerja. Padahal kita tahu bahwa apakah ini berdampak kepada pemerintah provinsi, kabupaten, kota maupun masyarakat. Ini yang saya tadi mengingatkan kepada BPS untuk ditelusuri betul bahwa sampai nanti terpotret betul potensi ekonomi Sulawesi Tenggara, jangan sampai potensi yang luar biasa ini, satu, tambang ini jadi andalan, baik nikel, emas, aspal, dan yang lain.
In addition, Fikri hoped Statistic Indonesia or BPS will carry out a comprehensive analysis to ensure Southeast Sulawesi's economic profile shows strong macro-level performance and demonstrate fair economic outcomes for local communities. Accurate data from the census will be used as the basis for policymaking, ensuring every sector, particularly mining, to support the growth of the local economy and improve the welfare of the people. From Southeast Sulawesi, Koko Inugroho, TVR Parlemen, reports.
When we return, we'll bring you updates from travel and culture only on House News. Six Indonesian cities have been ranked among the 100 best food cities in the world, recognized for diverse cuisines. These cities were selected based on high user ratings for local dishes and traditional restaurants.
Global food guide Tasty Class has unveiled its list of the 100 best culinary cities in the world for 2025 to 2026, highlighting 6 Indonesian cities celebrated for their rich and diverse food culture: Jakarta, Bandung, Padang, Surabaya, Surakarta, and Yogyakarta. The rankings draw from more than 500 verified user ratings across nearly 19,000 dishes in the Tasty List database. Jakarta ranks 21st globally, just below Singapore. Diners are encouraged to try local favorites such as soto Betawi, nasi uduk, gado-gado, chicken congee, and meatball soup. Known for its creative street snacks, Bandung is on the 34th spot. Its popular culinary delights including batagor, cireng, nasi kuning, mie kocok, and serabi. Although rendang earned the reputation as one of the most delicious foods in the world, Padang City only ranked 58th, the same as Zagreb, Croatia. Apart from rendang, the most delicious dishes that should not be missed are gulai and sate Padang. Meanwhile, must-visit restaurants in Padang include Lamun Ombak, Kripik Balado Christine Hakim, Resto Selamat, to Simpang Raya Restaurant. Surabaya sits at 65th place due to its iconic dishes like rujak cingur, rawon, soto, and nasi pecel. While Surakarta ranks 92nd beloved for nasi liwet, bakso Solo, tengkleng, serabi, and ayam penyet. Yogyakarta follows at 97th with its signature dishes such as gudeg and bapia patok.
The book Tumpeng Indonesia explores the meaning behind the cone-shaped tumpeng, the philosophy of each accompanying dish, and how tumpeng features in diverse traditions across the Indonesian archipelago.
The Indonesian gastronomy community recently launched the book Tumpeng Indonesia From Traditional Kitchens to the Nation's Table. The launch is part of efforts to enhance gastronomic literacy and highlight tumpeng as a cultural heritage with deep historical and philosophical meaning for Indonesians. The book was created to broaden public understanding of tumpeng, emphasizing that tumpeng is not only a ceremonial dish, but also a reflection of Indonesia's values, identity, and cultural journey. The book presents tumpeng as a living tradition that continues to evolve alongside the rich culinary heritage of the Indonesian's archipelago. It moves beyond being a regional culinary art to become a symbol of the nation's diverse local cultures. Tumpeng is cone-shaped rice dish that is special, not only because of its rich flavors, but also because it is usually served on joyful celebration days such as birthdays, anniversaries, or important families' milestones. Whenever nasi tumpeng is placed in the center of the table, it becomes a symbol of gratitude, togetherness, and shared happiness. The shape is the rice cone is said to resemble a mountain, which in traditional beliefs represents a sacred place and the connection between humans and the divine. It is usually surrounded by assorted side dishes such as vegetables, eggs, tempe, chicken, and sometimes seafood. Sharing nasi tumpeng with relatives, neighbors, and friends help to strengthen social bonds and spread a sense of warmth and solidarity.
In recent years, healthy eating has become an important trend in the food industry. Busy modern lifestyle and growing awareness of health have increased demand for food that is delicious and also nutritious for the body.
Culinary trends continue to evolve, including in 2026, where they are moving toward the concept of wellness or holistic health. Food is now valued not only for its taste, but also for its benefit to the body. A healthier lifestyle encourages people to be more selective in choosing what they consume, from the ingredients used to the way food is prepared. One trend that is becoming more popular is plant-based eating. Many people are shifting to plant-based menus as they are considered healthier and more environmentally friendly. In addition, snacking habits are also changing. While snacks were once associated with high sugar and fat content, healthier options such as nuts, fruits, and minimally processed foods are now more preferred. Cooking methods are also shifting. Steaming, which uses little to no oil, is increasingly favored as it preserves the nutritional content of food. On the other hand, functional beverages are also gaining popularity. Beyond simply refreshing, these drinks are believed to offer additional benefits such as boosting energy, strengthening the immune system, and supporting mental health. This trend is also increasing the use of more sustainable local ingredients. Traditional foods are gaining renewed attention because they are rich in nutrition and more environmentally friendly.
And that wraps up our house news for today. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.